So the most important thing when you're first starting and you notice you're having tons of thoughts that you can't control, tons of feelings you can't control, observe the fact that you observe that. That's a win right there. Like knowing that I observe that I am having difficulty controlling my thoughts.
That's a win. I love that.
Becoming more aware is the goal.
Yes, that's the goal, right? Mindfulness, awareness.
If there is a goal, right, to meditation.
Right. I love that. Awareness. So you're like, all right, day one, I had a lot of thoughts running. There was a lot of monkeys jumping on the bed.
But I noticed that I had a lot of thoughts.
But I noticed my thoughts.
Immediate
I was thinking, right, you're not attached to those negative thoughts.
Yeah.
You are not your thoughts. You are not your body. You're the one observing your thoughts and your emotions.
Experiencing the physical sensation of your body.
You're in control of your body.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want. Your spiritual, one step at a time. That's going to take a lot of work. That's going to take a lot of meditation or a little bit of mushrooms. Your spiritual practice allows you to continually get better every day, emotionally, mentally, and physically. We're back, baby. The Bridge Podcast coming at you live and direct. I'm Sean Nixon.
John Matthew, you ready? You ready?
I'm ready, baby.
Fourth layer spirituality. Or fourth layer is spirituality. If you remember from our 4 layers, our very intro episode, our theory or philosophy on health. We've got our mental, we've got our physical, we've got our emotional, and now we're on the last layer. Probably the most, I'd probably say, misunderstood layer.
For sure. Especially how it relates to body composition and health and fitness. You're I came here to get jacked and tell me how many macros to eat and how many sets and reps to do. And I'm like, okay, we're going to start with that. But life is deeper.
Yeah, so we're getting a little deep in here, not going too far on the deep end, but really trying to relate what spirituality is from our definition of it, and most importantly, like how it can benefit you in your physical practice or help you mentally with whatever issues you're dealing with or emotionally.
Just to get better every
because
day.
It will, yeah. It's the last layer for a reason because it really envelops all the others, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So,
absolutely.
But first, like, what do you define spirituality as?
To me, spirituality is being a good person and doing the right thing no matter what has happened to you so that you can heal and help others. And just loving and accepting yourself. You know, that's what loving yourself is. Accepting yourself for who you are and then becoming aware of what you can and can't change, right? So if you can't change it, you got to let it go and not worry about it. Easier said than done. And if you can change it, that's where you put your energy and your efforts into making plans and executing on.
So what do you, like, so what's, like, I guess, the average person, not to pigeonhole, but the average person's perception of what spiritual, when I say spiritual,
yeah, I'm not sure.
So there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, because I would think a lot of people's brains fucking switch to one gear or another, being like hippie bullshit, like some woo-woo hippie nonsense, right? Or religion, right? And I would say spirituality has absolutely nothing to do with religion, unless you're religious, and that's your spiritual connection with whatever, and that's great, right? And if you're an atheist that believes in science, then we're talking about quantum physics and the realm of everything. You know, that's what the quantum realm is a lot of times. And we won't go so far into defining God and self and whatever. But if you're into religion, don't get caught up in the propaganda of it. Know the actual meaning and message and spiritual connection of it. And if you're not, and if you're either not religious or agnostic or atheist, know that science and spirituality are the same thing. They're not opposites. They work together. Art, science, and spirituality all dance together and they all inspire each other.
Yeah, and the reason that, like, modern society, I guess in certain places, America definitely, and, you know, a lot of first world countries has shifted far away from religion towards science is because of the corruption of the church and organized religion, right?
That's what I meant.
And yes, and then, you know, my personal definition of spirituality is really just like a deeper connection to like the higher part of yourself, the best part of yourself, the deeper part of yourself, that kind of unknown, something greater than yourself, which is, like you said, don't buy in the propaganda, but all religions, not all religions, but most of the major religions the main person that's based off of, that be Jesus or Muhammad or whatever spiritual teacher, or
Krishna,
sage.
Buddha, Lao Tzu, it's all the same fucking character.
Yeah,
it's an archetype.
Yeah, and what all of those people preached was a connection to your higher self.
Yep.
The religion just made a structure around that person, not necessarily what they believed in or what they taught.
Yeah, they never said to worship them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Jesus was like, no, like you're children of God too. Like, so am I.
Yeah, like we're all in this together, bro.
On the same level. But,
and then people wrote the book a little differently to use it as a political tool. But.
And not to, again, like I was born and raised Lutheran. My grandpa was like a pastor, and so like I grew up Christian, and Christianity for some people is like they have a very negative experience with it. I didn't have a negative experience with it. My family, even though they were Christian, were very like open and had that deeper connection to God. It wasn't this like, we hate gays, we don't, like
once there's rules and regulations and judgments, it's you're fucked.
The judgment and the rules, that's all human stuff. That's we're talking about something, again, greater than yourself, whatever you believe that to be.
Yep. I grew up atheist, and then when I got into spirituality, the only religion that made sense to me was Buddhism, because there's no dogma and you're not worshiping anybody.
So Buddhism is not really a religion, it's a spiritual practice.
There you go.
So you can be like
so
Christian and practice Buddhism. So.
And you should.
Which makes more sense.
If you get it, right. It makes the most sense if you really get the story.
Yeah.
Because it's just a story. They're just parables to learn from. And like I always said, that no religion is true, but every religion contains truths that we can learn from. And a myth is something that, like the stories in there are myths, right? So did they happen? Is it real? Is it whatever? It doesn't matter.
That's besides the point, right?
It's not the point, right? It's a story you can learn from. Like I think Paul Chek defined a myth as a story that never happened in reality, but is constantly happening every day.
In reality, yeah.
Yeah, in reality every day.
Yeah.
In like a metaphorical fucking sense.
Exactly, yeah. Just like, dude, did that hare really race that tortoise? That totally never happened. Well,
perfect
that's not
example.
The point of the story, guys.
That's a perfect example. Well, that's a stupid story. I'm not going to listen to that. There's no way that a turtle could beat a rabbit in a race.
But that's the whole point.
Like the point of the story is he never gave up.
Yeah,
and the rabbit was being cocky, right, and slow and steady wins the race. He never gave up, and he just kept chugging along. There didn't matter what speed he was going forward, and he won the race.
Well, see, isn't that the funny thing? Like, we accept things that we know are fake to let us teach us, but when it becomes disputing whether it happened or not, we just get in this weird tizzy of like...
Then you get blocked off, because that's where I got blocked off.
Yeah.
It made sense.
But yeah, like you said,
goddamn genius.
Like you said, it's not the point. Like Dr. Seuss has got some good stuff in there too.
So many good things.
That's a children's book, man. But there's some level. He's on a level. Dr. Seuss is on a level.
High levels.
Go read Yertle the Turtle and then talk to me about communism.
So many levels. Yeah, there's so many levels.
But yeah, so me and you both watched a really great documentary recently, and Becoming Nobody. It's if you don't know who Ram Dass is, very prominent spiritual teacher. Friend of Timothy Leary, worked with...
we're talking about Harvard graduate, brilliant guy that
super smart.
Figured out that there's more to life than just books and fucking tables and chairs and computers. And
yeah, so he's done it all. He's gone on the path. Unfortunately, he's passed away, but he has a great documentary and bazillions of lectures, and Be Here Now is his famous book, too, if you want to check that out. But I know me and you both really liked a lot of stuff in that documentary, but one thing was his... and other spiritual teachers I've come across... how they organize these layers of perception as it relates to spirituality.
Yes.
So, like,
I love that. He was talking about, and then I took it a little bit further than he had. He was like, most people live life on like one or two channels, right? And the first channel is you just are looking with your eyes and judging. And you're like, tall, short, black, white, brown,
just
male,
physical,
female,
sensory
fat, thin.
perception.
Yeah, sensory perception.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I see somebody, there's a lot of this type of people in this room, whatever, a lot of females,
just
a lot of tall people, a lot of black people, just with your eyes. Level 2 or channel 2 brings in power and status and social fucking hierarchies and cues and stuff. So then it's like, oh, this person's a doctor, this person's this person has this much money, he did this, these are his accomplishments.
What's my purpose, what do I do?
Yeah, and you're like a little bit deeper, but still playing a game within the matrix, right? And then the third channel is kind of like where I try to teach people to be, or to get to eventually, is there's only good people and there's bad people. There's good actions and there's bad actions, and there's good energy and there's bad energy, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like Martin Luther King, like judge people on the content of their character. And that's it. You know what I mean? There's good energy and there's bad energy with anything. And then the true spiritual path of enlightenment, or whatever you want to call it, would be like the fourth channel, where there is no self and everything is one and actual unity. That's why it would be the universe. We're all made up of cells. We're all made up of the same shit, the same stardust, the same atoms. It's all the same shit. So technically, we're all one thing, the same thing.
Yeah.
Then if you break that down a little further, it's good and bad energy, good and bad people. Because I don't like judging people by how they look, because that's just silly.
I think in there, I guess what the difference between that third and the fourth is identifying good and bad people versus just people making good and bad actions, right?
Yeah. So you got to love the sinner too. Is the
that's
quote,
the hardest part.
And that is the hardest part. Like every single Carl Jung, I believe, said, your roots have to reach to hell for the branches to reach to heaven. So that's the duality within each person.
Yeah, and another Jung thing was the shadow, is understanding your capacity for the same evil or the same negative actions, the negative feelings, as the people that we condemn in our society, right? So, for me, a big part of the spiritual path is recognizing, it's again, that's the hardest part, is recognizing everybody is going through the same human experience, and that the same way that most people would agree that not all dogs are bad, dogs are just raised in a certain way, environmentally trained, or even interactions with other people or the things that make them the way they are. Same thing with human beings. Every serial killer, murderer, rapist, dictator was once a small child.
He was a little baby that was innocent.
A little baby,
and then shit happened to him.
So, would you kill that baby? Like, if you right? You didn't know he was an innocent
baby. Or you
baby.
could change the circumstances. His thoughts and actions led him.
Yeah.
An environment led him to make negative or bad choices.
Yeah, I think that's really important, especially now with our current environment, where in all parts of life, not just the easiest thing to point out is politically, but really every part of our life.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about nutrition a little bit, about the different, how people fight each other just on nutrition stuff.
So crazy.
And just having like the right workouts, or like football teams. But there's just,
it's just tribalism. At the end of the day.
And tribalism is not acknowledging that we're all part of the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of getting to that next level. So we all have people, I do too, that people I get pissed off at. I get pissed off at myself. I get pissed off at other people.
Sure.
But in that split moment afterwards, a really good spiritual practice I like to do is just take a breath, take a pause.
Dude, a deep breath will fucking save your life.
And then just, this person is going through, especially this easy, a really easy entry is during traffic, because everybody has somebody that's pissed them off in traffic.
Yes.
You see that person, I don't know what that person is doing, or is going through, or how they learn to drive, or what's happening, but I know they're a human going through a human experience. I know I probably made some mistakes driving too. I can recognize the capacity to make a mistake within myself as a driver, and I accept their mistake. I can't do anything about it. It already happened. What can I,
So turning judgment into empathy.
Yeah.
Instead of immediately barking at them and judging. Because think about it.
Because judgment is separation, for one.
Judgment is separation, but it's also, for the traffic example, you're yelling and screaming at them. They can't even hear you. Yeah. You're in your car. You're the only one feeling that negative energy and that hate.
Yeah.
But if you take a deep breath, and like you said, instead of judging them, see and empathize, okay, maybe they're having a bad day.
Until you get the guy who speeds up, flips you off, and
Well, that's his problem, though. I always smile at those people. I feel bad for those people.
They're that angry.
Yeah, they're holding on to anger.
I don't want to be angry.
I don't get angry when you give me the finger. I smile. I'm fucking having a good day.
Yeah.
You're not bringing me down.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking piss on my parade.
So yeah, levels. So especially too with how it relates to, a lot of you are probably watching for growth and transformation physically, which we're definitely going to get to some really awesome stuff into how to program nutrition in our next couple episodes. But incorporating the spiritual into your physical practice of whether it's a workout routine, whether it's your goals to lose weight, build muscle, a sport, just get healthy, get off medication, what is the spiritual, let me ask you, what has incorporating the spiritual done for you physically?
Just confidence and your positive self-talk. I see so many people hold themselves back because they feel that they're not worthy of gains or being lean or being jacked or being good looking or being healthy or whatever. They're holding on to their own bullshit of feeling not worthy. So if you understand that you are not your body, you have a body, right? And if you love yourself, that you can get better, right? So spirituality, if you're if you're praying, chanting, journaling, talking to God, whatever you want to call it, you're really just talking to yourself. And you're hyping yourself up with positive self-talk so that you can get better and grow and get better every day and achieve your goals. So to me, it comes down to confidence, purpose, and positive self-talk.
Yeah, I love that. That's entirely true. For me, it really just takes away helps me release that like constant tension of worrying about what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I'm not doing enough. Or what do I got to do there? And I mean, quiet your mind so you can stay on the path of drinking your water, hitting your macros, getting your workouts in.
Yeah, like the really hard thing to accept too is, like that everything is happening exactly the way it's happened, and everything just
perfect.
Is what it is. And to say that is like it's perfect. You're like, well, there's so much wrong in the world, but it's all, like people. I saw an article where someone was saying like, is 2020 the worst year in human history? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you guys are running around during World War II, and when Genghis Khan destroyed Asia, and when the Roman Empire destroyed everybody, like
when a meteor fucking destroyed the whole shit, hit the reset button,
when the entire planet was just like in
all control delete,
when winter, like perspective, right? So we've come a long way, and obviously there's a lot to work on, but this is what we're doing. This is the process of working on it.
And then once again, if you're atheist or you don't give a shit about any of this shit, breaking it down to a physical level as far as cellular production and hormones, if you meditate and if you have positive self-talk, your cells are going to function better, and your cortisol, and insulin antagonistic relationship is going to be better. Therefore, you're going to have less fatty tissue and more muscle tissue.
Yeah.
Just from a scientific standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, there's like Harvard, Johns Hopkins level studies on this stuff. It's not like we're just it's like randomly clinical trials. These are like high level stuff. People researching on Tibetan Buddhists and what happens to their brain chemistry when they go into meditation.
I'm not trying to turn you into a bunch of fucking hippies with hemp bras and 30 feet and shit.
Unless you like that.
Unless you're into that.
Then go for it.
I'm just trying to be fucking jacked and healthy and grateful for life. You know what I mean? So part of that is...
Yeah. A lot of people who don't identify as spiritual even have a spiritual practice and they just don't even realize it.
Yeah, good point. That's a great point. So like if you're creating art or enjoying art, viewing art, listening to music, walking in nature.
Playing a high-level sport.
Oh my God. Anything that's your purpose or your passion that you can get into like a flow state and feel that good feeling that's almost indescribable of like that time flies when you're having fun, like that type of feeling. Yeah. That's when you're on the right path and your soul is guiding you to the right, like I said, your purpose.
I like that you brought that up because I think that's a big thing for a lot of people my age, the millennials. It's like, what do we do with our lives? Like, what's our purpose? So, because it seemed a lot more clear to people, in past generations when it was like, you need to get a job to get money, pay the family. It was much more like structural, and the post-industrial revolution really created like a system of what's the right thing to do. And there's a lot more openness, so much more now, and a lot of people I know, including myself, get lost in like, what do I do with my life? I have no idea. Like, I don't have that thing. I think just even connecting, and for one, like, you think you can think yourself into finding your purpose, but the easiest way to do it is just let yourself experience it, because again, not to go, there's different layers, right? But like, what's inside of you, that deeper, higher self, that thing that intuition, right, is what I guess we can call that, like that voice that speaks to you when you least expect it to. And a lot of people have experienced that, whether they believe in it or not. It's always trying to guide you toward that thing that you're trying to fulfill. It's really just what we put up and hold on to that resists us accepting that,
What you're seeking is seeking you.
Exactly.
If you're on the right path, you're going to know. And when you're young, you got to try a bunch of shit. You got to try everything out, right? And then once you figure out what you're good at, what you love, what you can help people with, and then, money's not real, but like you need it to survive in this matrix and in this like economy system that we have. So like if you can make money off of something, help somebody and give back to the planet.
Guys.
Yeah, and you're good at it and you love it, you need to run 100 miles an hour at that and don't look back. That doesn't mean you can't have other hobbies and other fun things, but that's how you find your purpose, is trying a bunch of different things and then listening to that little inner voice of intuition, like you said, and really going 100 miles an hour for what you love.
Yeah. And then one thing too, in terms of like finding your purpose too, or allowing spirituality to guide you, there's like one of my favorite parts about a lot of spirituality is the idea of just like doing less. Like, you remember that scene in I Love You, Man, where like he's trying to, Paul Rudd's trying to teach Jason Segel how to surfboard, and he's like, do less, until he's just laying down the surfboard. He's like, yes, that's it.
That's perfect.
That's perfect. That's it, though. Being like, we try so hard to try to find something or try to make something, but a big part of spiritual practice, and again, religion, this is in a lot of religions too, is just having faith and just trusting that you will find it. Like, having that belief is easier said than done, because I can say like, you know, I will find that thing I'm looking for, but then like, you know, then I'm starting like tapping my fingers, and then I'm looking online, and I'm like, can't go to sleep because I wonder what I'm supposed to do. And again, that level from 2, 3 to 4 is from doing, what am I doing versus just being.
Yeah.
It's counterintuitive,
exactly
but you got to let yourself be to find out what you're supposed to do, not the other way around.
Absolutely, because that brings us back to depression and anxiety, you know, because it's past hurt, memories of past hurt set you up for future fear. And fear it doesn't put you in a state of growth. It puts you in a state of lack and holds you back. So if you don't understand that there's love and abundance and positivity and creativity to carry you through on your whatever spiritual journey or fitness journey or whatever you want to call it, then you're going to get stuck with fear and regret and all those negative energies that we were talking about last time. So you got to, like you said, let go of your old shit and look towards some new shit, you know?
Yeah, we talked about this in the last episode, the emotional episode, about fear, and all fear stems from the fear of death. And that's another big part of a lot of spiritual practices, is understanding what death really is. And then when you understand that we're all the same thing, experiencing the same, or experiencing different perspectives, just the same thing, experiencing different little locuses of consciousness. I've heard used, Rupert Spears, I like that term, just different little cameras set up that are experiencing different things, you know, different antennas that are receiving different things. Then it becomes a lot less the anxiety of fear, which is the fear of death, that dissipates, and that clears the way.
Yeah. I mean, I like to think of it like I said, forget heaven, hell, afterlife, reincarnation, whatever. The metaphor of the water, you know, it falls as rain, it evaporates as steam, becomes a cloud, and it comes back around in the same cycle. It's the same water.
Yeah.
But when it's rain, it doesn't know that it's going to be in the ocean.
But when you're on level 1, you see the ocean, you see the rain.
Yeah, you're like, I'm rain, I only want to be rain, I don't want to be steam. And then when you're steam, you evaporate back to a cloud.
You're like, oh, I've been doing
it's a cycle. And you're like, oh.
I remember now.
So it's more of, you know, death is not the end, it's the end of a cycle, and you're moving on to the next chapter.
Yeah, and again, like the same thing, like I like the fall season, a lot of people say is that we witness the death of literally a bunch of living things. We're not crying because all the trees are dying. Like,
no, it's celebrated. It's great.
Yeah, we know, because we know what's going to happen in the spring. And
but the tree also doesn't hold on to the leaves and get sad. It knows that spring is coming. So it's got to let go of its old bullshit leaves to survive the winter, to embrace and be grateful for the spring.
Yeah.
It's the same cycle.
Just letting go.
It's almost like everything is connected.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere.
I mean, you heard it here first. You know, so many people try to put people in a box and pigeonhole people and put labels on people. Those are just judgments. You know what I mean? And that's what we were talking about, is rising above judgment and knowing that there's only good energy and bad energy, and then above that is just energy.
Yeah.
It's just everything is the same thing.
Acceptance of the good and the bad as just all energy.
So it doesn't matter what you do, what you look like, or what you're into. If you love it and you put off positive energy, you're going to feel better, and all the people around you are going to feel better.
And it's going to impact how you feel on all levels of your being. Like, I mean, I've introduced it to clients before. Like, like the beginner dosage of meditation is like, just do 10 minutes in the morning, and just that bit, which, I mean, there's so much more to be done. Just even that bit, 10 minutes for a couple of days, I feel so much better already.
Ugh.
So imagine if you just, and it's the same thing, I know you mentioned this too, and I hear a lot, it's like, I'm not good at meditating, I just can't do it. Like, I don't get it, it's not for me, and that's just, so what you're saying is that for me, what that is saying is that it's the same thing as like, oh, well, working out's just not for me, I haven't seen results in 4 days. And it's just like, I can't play the piano. I tried it for a week, and it just, I wasn't good, and so it's the same thing. So if you just
practice,
if you stop treating it like some instant gratification thing, which is the whole point, which is really what it tries to turn you off of, is and treat it as a practice, part of your life.
Yep.
We've talked about this in the physical. It's really a lifestyle change.
Yep. You are what you practice to be. Whatever repetitions you put in, that's what you're going to be good at.
Yeah, it's like
whatever you choose to do.
You brush your teeth every morning. You brush your teeth every morning because that's a healthy habit that you maintain to love yourself, to take care of your body.
Yep.
Meditation is the same thing as brushing your teeth. In that way, it is. You know.
So since meditation can be either confusing or intimidating, let's break it down to what we can do on like a lower level and level up the like a take-home practical spiritual
Yeah, how can you
practice.
incorporate this like right now into your daily life, daily routine to benefit?
I think everybody could have, if you're into prayer, or if not, if you're into journaling, you can just write down what you're grateful for and do a little positive self-talk at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like I said, even if it's saying it out loud or saying it in your head like a prayer, or to God or to yourself or to whomever, or physically writing down what you're grateful for, what you've learned, what you've, things about your day, like a little mini journal, little mini gratitude journal.
Yeah, and gratitude's a massive one. That's, again, for me, I know for you, it instantly turns the gear in the head from negative thought to like, oh, I don't have these things, but oh, I have this though, right? So it goes from, scarcity mindset to abundance mindset instantly, and then there's the neurological cascade of things that happen during that. So I love the gratitude journaling. Again, journaling, and we both experience this too. Like writing it down, seeing it out in front of you is a different experience, and then reading it out loud is an entirely different experience than just keeping things just bouncing around up in your head like pinballs. Like
reading it out loud in the first person too. So saying this is what I do, or this is what I did, and this is what I learned, is a lot different than saying, well, you should do this or whatever, like some ethereal hypothetical shit. If you say it out loud in your own present first person, it sticks a lot better because then it goes into your ears.
It's personal responsibility.
And personal responsibility and accountability. We've been telling you motherfuckers about this shit.
So I love that. And again, praying, if you have that as a practice too, thanking somebody or just being thankful. Even if you don't thank something, you could say thank you for the, what so-and-so part of the day I had, or you can just say I am grateful for so-and-so part of the day. It's the same thing. Just as long as you have expressing that emotion of gratitude.
And then say it right and feel it. I'm glad you said emotion. That's what I was going to say. You got to mean it. It's got to be authentic. Not just fucking around Thanksgiving, you're thankful for fucking mashed potatoes and the Lions versus the Cowboys.
No one's going to read it, so you can just be, you don't have to pretend.
Open up,
you can take off the mask.
Just take off the mask and stop telling yourself those stories about yourself. Those stories that are in your head.
And they just bounce around.
This happened
forever.
to me, so this is why I do this and whatever. It's like, put those stories on pause for a second, or write those stories down and see how ridiculous they are, and envision what your life could be if you stop telling yourself those old stories. It doesn't mean that things bad didn't happen to you. It means that you can't change the past, but you can change the future. You can make the right thoughts and actions going forward to positively change your future.
Make the right thoughts and actions in that moment, right?
Yeah.
That's the now, it becomes the future, and the future.
People just holding on to this happened to me, so I'm so whatever, and then they puke it on other people.
Yeah, but writing it out, and then again, that's like a really powerful exercise that's easy to do. So put that in there. And
Number one, gratitude journal.
Yeah.
Next level up, sound healing, vibration, music, singing, chanting. So like, believe it or not, everything is a vibration, right? And everything is connected through that vibration. And you can explain that in a spiritual way or a scientific way. And like I said, I don't differentiate between the two.
Yeah.
But you can talk about binaural beats, Tibetan healing bowls, nature sounds of birds and a waterfall, guided meditation in headphones, your favorite music. If you're an atheist and you don't understand like chanting, praying, humming, ohms, different things, think about that feeling you get when you're at a concert. Live music, that energy of all the people singing the same song and being on the same page and that same vibration coming at you.
Yeah, I know like everybody has those few songs they listen to, and it
gives
you that
something,
intense
gives you
feeling,
energy.
Powerful feeling. There's a reason that happens.
There's a reason that happens, a scientific reason and a spiritual reason.
Yeah,
there's no difference to me.
Sound, what is sound? Sound is a wave. Waves have frequency. They have, wavelength and frequency, and all that. Your cells are vibrating at a frequency and a wavelength constantly, and we just don't see that. And that's another one of those things.
Have you ever had sad music make you feel sad and happy music make you feel happy?
It's the opposite.
How the fuck does that happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think about that shit. Use music to your advantage. Use sound to your advantage.
Yeah, there's lots of ways you can incorporate that. Again, even like the chanting and all the, like a lot of the yogic chants too is, saying different tones and the way you enunciate the word creates a different vibration in your throat.
Big time.
That resonates within your body.
Well, which brings me to the next level that you can get into before you get to meditation is breathing exercises. Because sometimes I just inhale deep through my nose and just vibrate on the way out, and that shit is fucking powerful, man. Dude, big time. Just a nice and that's the sound of the universe. I feel it vibrating in my heart all the way up to my brain.
And that's what it actually does. That chant, that sound actually creates a vibration that resonates.
It does. I feel
inside.
my heart and my brain sync up, and you're like, that's woo-woo hippie nonsense.
Wait, we can prove it scientifically?
I can hook myself up to an EKG and read the fucking vibrations in my heart.
Yeah.
And you can hook your brain up to I forget the name of the machine, but they fucking
mean.
measure brain waves.
Yeah.
It's the same motherfucking thing.
Same thing,
And either way, it makes you feel good.
And just try it, and you can
try it.
And you
So-
can see if it works yourself. There's tons of different breathing exercises.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do an episode on breathing and some videos as far as just getting people to breathe properly through their inhaling through their nose, exhaling through their mouth.
Using the diaphragm.
Using the diaphragm is huge.
Understanding
where
you're breathing into.
So don't overcomplicate it, but you can talk about box breathing, Wim Hof breathing. So let's give out box breathing real quick just as a take home. 5-second inhale, 5-second hold, 5-second exhale, 5-second hold at the exhale.
That's
If you
one
do
cycle.
that 5 times, you're gonna feel real nice.
And going into the scientific thing here too, this is another good research thing for you if you want to just check this out, because there's tons of cool stuff on there. The vagus nerve, that runs down and really connects and has a big impact on a lot of our mental, psycho-emotional reactions. Is like that 1-to-2 ratio inhale to exhale.
Yes.
And again, I think box breathing too has been scientifically shown to have a positive impact on stimulating that vagus nerve that can be like suppressed or damaged or just turned off, to really turn us into a parasympathetic, just really rest and digest, more relaxed state.
Yep. So if you're just trying to be super lean or super jacked or build a bunch of muscle or lose a bunch of fat or be a badass in sports performance, or if you don't care about how you look in your sports performance and you only want to be healthy, you should be breathing properly. Everybody needs to be breathing
Oxygen's
properly.
important, guys.
If oxygen is super important, they're not going to tell you that on CNN. They're not going to tell you that on Fox. But if you just want to recover from hard exercise, you need to know how to breathe during that and then after that.
Respiration translates to cellular respiration, and that's a big part of the recovery of your cells.
Muscles need blood needs oxygen. You are not in control, right, of your heart rate, your blood pressure, this and that, but you are control of your breath, and those things cascade down and control all your bodily functions. So technically, you're in control of every little thing in your body if you can control your breath and your breathing.
And that's like a really easy one to start with, because how many times I know I do, and I know all of you do too, is you sort of have that negative thought or emotion. Maybe your shoulders rise, you start to get tense in the chest. You hold the breath a little bit, you become shallow, and then you have to do one of those. Is big sighs. That's because your body.
We've seen anxiety attacks get connected to shallow, quick breathing.
Yeah.
And then you're in big trouble.
So
learn how to breathe.
Learn how to breathe. Try the box breath. Try the 1-to-2 ratio. What I was saying is, if you inhale for a 4 count, exhale for an 8 count, that will help stimulate that parasympathetic
More exhale
response.
than inhale.
And breathing is like the perfect transition. If you practice just this is when you can practice every part of your single day. So there's no excuse not to do it, because you're doing it right now. You're breathing. It's just transition breathing into the next not final, but probably the most challenging for people, I'd say, is meditation.
But the biggest challenge becomes the biggest reward.
Yeah, it's and the reason I say the biggest challenge is the reason that it is challenging is just because is language and thinking and our impulse. What's the word I'm looking for? Just attention span.
Yeah.
Instant gratification. Our minds are constantly running. We're thinking about stuff that's not even happening yet, things that we have to do, things that we did before. This is just
even if you're not depressed and anxious, you got the to-do list running,
Always.
or you're scripting the conversations. I should have said this to her, and I should have said this
or you're
to him.
spending like an hour
I'm gonna
preparing
spend
what you're
this.
going to say to
Yeah,
somebody.
what you're going to say. You're
you
playing
get
that
there
whole
and then you don't
story
even
in your
say
head, and you didn't even do that shit. You just wasted all your energy making up a movie in your head.
Dude, thinking takes a lot of energy, so
It really
that's why you're
does.
tired all the time.
That's
just
why you're
because-
tired all the time, because you're
I'm
not breathing
tired.
properly,
Because I was the same thing.
and you're overthinking. So take a deep breath, and let it all out. And don't worry about stuff all the time. And then, like we said many times before, we're going to do an in-depth episode on meditation and a bunch of videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not hippy-dippy woo-woo nonsense. And if you're religious, you can meditate. If you're atheist, you can meditate. If you're an athlete, you should be meditating. If you only care about your health, you can meditate. If you only care about losing fat or gaining muscle, you should meditate. It's going to scientifically increase your recovery and affect mental, emotional, and physical results in the body as well.
And I think it's important to talk about, because going into meditation, I think what trips people up sometimes is having an expectation of what's supposed to happen.
That's the biggest
is
thing.
that you're supposed to like not think, or you're supposed to stop your thoughts, or you're supposed to just go into this deep psychedelic experience. It's all meditation is teaching you to, or allowing you the opportunity to see that you're not your thoughts, you're not your feelings. Identify with that deeper thing within yourself and find stillness.
Thought comes like a cloud, and you just watch it go.
Yeah.
You try not to grab onto it and hold on to it.
Feeling, right?
Yep.
And the point too is not necessarily to like, when you have a thought, like stop thinking that thought, or just be upset with yourself, because that defeats the purpose. It's accepting that you're going to have thoughts, you're going to have feelings, and understanding that you can let those thoughts and feelings go, because you are not them.
Yeah, what I do as a quick one also, and another little take-home tip, I'm giving you all the fucking juicy tips today. When I'm sitting there just breathing and trying to empty your mind or clear your mind, and then a thought pops in, or an emotion, or a feeling, or a story, or the future, or the past, or a memory and a thought, I just breathe in and say, let, and I exhale and I say, go. And I just repeat it's a mantra, literally. It's a quick little mantra of let go on the inhale, exhale, and I try to drag it out.
You can even do a little bit of a hold, so let that shit go.
And you physically, then to take it to the next level, you can visualize that anger, visualize that thought, that person, that feeling.
Yeah.
And let it go on the exhale.
And make it your own, because I can visualize things very well in my mind. Some people can't, and that's just part of how your brain works. But for me, if I do visualize it as a thought coming, and for me, what works, it just has worked with me, is just seeing it disperse like vapor, just like that. Some people like the clouds, some people like water, some people like
wave coming in, wave crashing out.
So the most important thing when you're first starting and you notice you're having a tons of thoughts that you can't control, tons of feelings you can't control, observe the fact that you observe that. That's a win right there. Like knowing that I observe that I am having difficulty controlling my thoughts.
That's a win. I love that.
Becoming more aware is the goal.
Yes, that's the goal, right? Mindfulness, awareness.
If there is a goal, right, to meditation.
Right. I love that.
Awareness.
So you're like, all right, day one, I had a lot of thoughts running. There was a lot of monkeys jumping on the bed.
But I noticed that I had a lot of thoughts.
But I noticed my thoughts.
Immediate
I was thinking, right, you're not attached to those negative thoughts.
Yeah.
You are not your thoughts. You are not your body. You're the one observing your thoughts and your emotions.
Experiencing the physical sensation of your body.
You're in control of your body.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want. Your
You
spiritual, one step at a time. That's going to take a lot of work. That's going to take a lot of meditation or a little bit of mushrooms. Your spiritual practice allows you to continually get better every day, emotionally, mentally, and physically. So we can tie all those layers together. When you understand that you need to love yourself and that you are not your body and you are not your thoughts, that gives you the self-confidence and the purpose and the drive and the motivation and the inspiration to do all those little things physically and mentally to get yourself better. Hitting your, drinking your water, hitting your macros, making it to all your exercise
sessions,
sleeping, the meditation, the breathing. And so cultivate your own or become aware of the patterns and spiritual practice that you have. And even if it's enjoying art, enjoying music, enjoying nature, gratitude journal, and start breathing through your nose. It'll save your life. It'll change your life.
All right. We'll catch you next time. We're going to be getting some nutrition info. A little spoiler, a little teaser.
The bridge, baby. Peace.
Deuces.